Very good evening friends, and in this video we are going to discuss about the form data, how to handle the form data in React.js. So without wasting your time, let me create one component which will hold the form data. So I call it as form data.js. So I'll use the snippet RCE because I'm making it a class component, and inside this I'll remove this named export, and then inside this JSX I'll use a form data. So I create a form. This is very much HTML form, and inside this I have a division tag, and inside the division tag I have one input. So input type equals text, name equal name. Okay, so this is for name, control C, control V, this, and this one I take it for email. We can write the type as email, and this is password, so the type is password, and there I can name it as password. And then I take one more division. Inside that I will use some select feature. So select, and inside the select I will use the feature like value equal to, right now I'm keeping this empty, and then I create the option. So the option value equal to, I write this as fruit, or value equal to mango, and there I write mango. Okay, so I just copy paste, and I want 3 4 2 3 4 mango. This is peach, and there I call it as peach. Next I can take it as orange, and this one is also orange, and there last one you can take it as plum or strawberry. Plum, I take plum. And then after this we need a button, so paste this one, and there I write button, and here I write submit. Okay, so save this, and I go into the app.js, and inside this I import this form data. Save, and let me import the form data. So there I should have import form data. From components.form data. Fine. So this is okay. Now let me refresh the browser to see. Okay, failed to compile form data. This is spelling mistake. Form data, here I have created the form data, so the data name is form data, and this data should be D capital. So form data, and down also the React, this part export default, this should also be form data, and then when I call it, this is form data. Fine, there also it is D capital. So form, this also should be form data. Okay, now it's okay. Oh my god, form data. So save, refresh. So this is the form data it is seen. Now I want the methods to be invoked. So what I do that, here I create some state variables. So what I have designed, this is name, email, password, and then there I have taken the name of the fruits as the favorite fruit, you can say whatever it is. If you want something else, then you can use whatever you feel like. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I want, that this value, because whenever the user changes the value, so these name, email, password and this fruit thing, they should be the part of the state. So I use the snippet r const. Okay, there I say name. First I initialize it with the empty string, name, email, empty string, password, empty string, and then fruit, empty string. Okay, now I want this form data, like the whenever user clicks on these changes, then on change method, and then before that the value of these will be, these values will change. So the value equal, there inside this curly will be like this dot state dot name. So now this is synced with whatever your user will enter, and the state variable will have the same value. Same thing is for email also. So value is this dot state dot email. Then here value is this dot state dot password, and then here the value is this dot state dot fruit. Okay, so save. Now if I type anything, this is not taking the value of type because we have to use on change method. Okay, in the first one here I write on change equal this dot, I say name handler, name change handler, name change handler, and here email change handler, on change is this dot email change handler, and here on change is this dot password change handler. All these functions we need to define. Here also on change is this dot fruit change handler. Okay, now I need to define them one by one. So here just before the random method, first is name change handler, name change, I use ESX style of function. So name change handler equals event, so in the parenthesis you can write event and then arrow operator, and then here you can change the event, because I want the state and the state, because whenever the user keeps on changing in those uh, text boxes, then the state should also dynamically change. So I'll use this dot set state, and there I write name is event dot target dot value. Okay, so the same thing I have to do for other also. Next is email change. Let me check the name. Email change handler. So email change handler equal, and then event. You can write e also instead of using event. E will be event, and then this dot set state parenthesis curly bracket, then you write email is e dot target dot value. Then the next one we have password change, pass change handler equal e, then this dot set state parenthesis curly bracket, then password is e dot state target dot value, e dot target dot value. So one more is there, that is fruit change handler. So fruit change handler equals e, this dot set state parenthesis curly bracket, then fruit colon e dot target dot value. So all these are done. Now let's check whether it is taking the value or not. Here it is. Okay, this is taking. Email ID is also taking, and there I write password, anything I can write, taking. Then I click on orange selected submit button. I have not added any functionality for the submit button, that's why this is not showing. So now let me create one button for, so here this button is already there, just you write type equals submit, and inside this form here you write on form submit, on submit, on submit equal, again one more function, this dot form data handler. Now define this form data handler also, form data handler equal event e, and then you see that whenever you, e is never used, e is not defined. Oh, this arrow is, yeah. Okay, now you see that whenever I write anything, and any name, and then anything, and I click on this, then by default all these text fields become clear, like there is no data left. So I want not this to happen, so I write e dot prevent default, prevent default. Now let me type anything. Okay, so even after clicking the button, the data persists, it stays there, it's not getting cleared or it's not becoming blank. It means this is, you are preventing this by using this method e.prevent. Now here I only want to check whether the data is coming to these values or not. So you know that all these values can be accessed using the dot state method, so variable. So I simply print those in the alert box. So alert, then in the backticks dollar curly bracket, and then we'll write this dot state dot name, and then again second one is dollar curly bracket this dot state dot email, and then dollar curly bracket this dot state dot password. One more is the fruit, so dollar this dot state dot fruit. So I'll be only displaying, we are getting the data from the form and then we are displaying in the alert boxes. However, in the real life applications, you can send these data to the database. That will be discussed in the next other videos. In the series will come. Then we have to create one server also for that. We'll be doing all this one by one. So right now we are just checking whether our form handler is able to pick up those data entered by the user or not. So here I simply refresh it and then I take few random stuff just to check. Yes, so this is everything is coming properly, and this is how you can pick up the data. So the code you have seen, all this is how it works. Thank you very much. Just subscribe to our channel, and in the next videos we will keep on exploring the other prominent features, and then I'll show you how to design a proper React based web application. Thank you very much. Just subscribe to our channel. Have a nice time.